So, as all of you know, on the SiH portal on 8th of August, they have announced and declared all the you can say inauguration of the SiH has been done by the different ministries and chairman of AICT. And from since then till now, we can see there are around 65 problem statements available on the portal for the hardware problem statements, and around 170 problem statements are there for software edition. So you have to choose the category, whether it is an hardware or software. The difference is that for the software, it is a 2 days grand finale hackathon. For hardware, it will be 5 days. And both are physical on-site hackathons that are grand finale. So Vitika and her team will explain you how to choose the problem statement and all the entire process. But you need to select the problem statement which are available by the proposed by the state government, central ministries, different corporates, and some problem statements. You can come up with some solutions under the student innovation category as well. So there are several themes available. You have to choose the problem statement based on your interest, like blockchain is there, is it? Smart automation is there, smart vehicle is there, like that. And there are organizations who have, you can say, floated these problem statements, like AICT has, Autodesk has problem statements, government like government of Gujarat, government of HP, government of Rajasthan, these problem statements are already there. So this is the entire flow of the Smart India Hackathon. Starts from the problem statement launch, which was already done. Is it? Then we have the registration of the SPOC. So problem statements have been launched. Registration of the SPOC, it should be done by the institute. So for our institute, for VIT, myself, Professor Dr. Vijay Mane, will be a single point of contact, and we have registered as a SPOC on the SiH website, SiH portal. Now, next step is that we have to conduct an internal hackathon. The purpose of this internal hackathon, to conduct the internal hackathon, it is mandatory step for all the institutes, those who are participating in Smart India Hackathon, that we need to conduct this internal hackathon to nominate top 30 teams. They will be representing the institute. They will be there for the SIH, you can say, for the further steps, right? And then again at the SIH site or SIH site, there will be some nominations. So sorry, some screening will be there. And for each problem statement, they will be shortlisting 5 to 7, sometimes 10 teams, and they will be called for the grand finale. So the next processes are like screening of ideas, then result declaration, and then mentoring sessions for the grand finale teams, and then there will be a SIH grand finale and announcement of the winner. So a very specific main, you can say, action of this Smart India Hackathon is that for every problem statement, there will be a winner. So now you have seen that there are around 70 problem statements for 65 problem statements for hardware, more than 170 problem statements for software. So more than these 230 teams, 230 problem statements are there. So there will be 230 such winners will be there, a grand finale winner, and each winner will have a lot of, you can say, opportunities, not only in terms of prize money of 1 lakh, but there are so many opportunities by the government. To name the few, like if your idea is good, then they will help you for product development. They will incubate your idea. They will help you for the
Mate,
development of entrepreneurship. Please mute your mic. And one more very important, you can say, benefit of this winning the hackathon is that there are many opportunities for the different hackathons, mostly the hackathons that are conducted at the international level, like the Singapore hackathon. So for that, they allow only the winners of the SIH. So we can be part of, so like last year from VIT, Soham Dixit won this Singapore hackathon because he was the winner. Like that, there are other international hackathons as well. So for that, participants will be only from the winner of this Smart India Hackathon. Other than that, there will be a Yukti portal, there will be boot camps are there. So these are allowed. Participants are allowed only from this Smart India Hackathon. So this is one of the, you can say, very renowned hackathon. But as I tell you already, and many times I request you all that you just don't look this as an winning point of from the winning point of view, but from VIT side, we are thinking this as an preparation for you to be a part of this SH as well as to take part in other hackathons, as there are many hackathons coming in future, national, international level as well. And nowadays, the scenario of the placement is also going to change. That many companies are organizing their hackathons mostly in their campuses, or we have many requests for the. Ritika, could you please mute them?
Yes, I did.
So there are many companies now requesting our TPO that we will conduct the hackathon for the placement purpose. So recently, a BlackRock hackathon was conducted. Then Barclays hackathon were conducted. Then Smith hackathon were conducted. So like this, the scenario of the placement is now going to be changing next couple of years. Maybe those who are in the second year now, third year now, you will find that the placement would be. Siddesh, I will solve all your queries. Just let me finish this in just 5 minutes. So please look this Smart India Hackathon, just not from the Smart India Hackathon, but this is a preparatory step for you all, that I'm giving you the chance to listen all their ideas, their experiences. We are going to conduct this internal hackathon in the college in the physical mode, where you will present your ideas to the actual juries. These juries I am going to call in the internal hackathon in the VIT are the juries who actually as in jury in the SiH, and they have a very good knowledge of their own domain. They are going to give you a very good suggestions. So I requested them. I am doing this since last 4 to 5 years, that they will help you to, you can say, enhance, to improve your idea that you have. So please don't look just from this SH point of view, because as you can see here, from last 2 years, more than 200 teams participated, or you can say interested for the SIH. And this time it is only 30 now they have permitted to go for the actual SIH. And out of that, again, there will be a selection, a screening. You can imagine that last year I have around 265 entries from the for the internal hackathon, and I requested SIs that we have very good many good ideas. Please kindly allow us to submit more ideas. So for a few colleges, they have given open the portal again, and this allowed us to submit 100 ideas. So 100 teams last time we registered, and you can imagine only from the 100 team, only 11 teams were shortlisted for the grand finale. So chances are very less to select for the grand finale, but our intention is to provide you the whatever inputs, whatever help required to be in the to you be in the place in the grand finale, right? So, and if you just you can connect to any others, so they will say you that because of this internal hackathon, they got many good inputs and they attempted other hackathons. So they may not be selected in this SIH, but similar hackathons are coming up in future, so you can participate in that as well. And here also, at the moment, although they are saying it is 25 plus 5 teams, 25 are the actual grand, you can say, selected teams, and 5 are the waitlist teams. But I'm sure that this number will be increased. Okay. So there are rules that for each product statement, certain number of teams. At the moment, 500 teams, you can say they have said. And you can imagine out of 500 teams registered for a single problem statement, they are just going to call 7 teams for the grand finale. And that too, from the 7 teams, 5 are actual selected and 2 are waitlist. So 5 out of 500 is a very, you can say, chances are very less. But still, you can imagine last time 11 teams were selected from 80, and out of that 11 teams register, you can say, went for the grand finale of the SH. 10 teams won this Smart India Hackathon. And I'm proud to say that we are the only institute in the India for this Smart India Hackathon that has 10 teams winning this Smart India Hackathon. So 10 teams from a single college. It's a very big achievement for VIT, and all the students were performed well. So I requested all these 10 teams to present their ideas to guide you, to help you, not only for this SH, for such hackathons as well. Right. So we are going to conduct this Smart India Hackathon mostly in the from the before, we can say, or first week of September, because last date they have given us to submit the ideas, register the team is 12th of September. I requested them to extend the date, but at the moment there is no such reply. But we think that there may be some postponement of this date, but we don't know. We will wait till 5th of September. Otherwise, we have to conduct this internal Smart India Hackathon. Okay. So what you have to do now, as an for the preparation for the Smart India Hackathon, you have to choose a problem statement from the SH website only. You have to form a team. Team should be 6 members. This is actually for the grand finale, but for internal hackathon, you can make a team less than 6 members. That is also okay. It is mandatory that there should be a female student for the finale. But for internal hackathon, if you have a team and you don't have a female student in your team, that is also okay. We will accept your team. You register your team. So to find out or choose a unique team name for your team, and there is no restriction on the, you can say, particular year. A team member should be from a particular year, particular department. There is no such limitation. You can form a team with a team members from different department, different years as well. Only restriction is that all team members from should be from the same institute. So we cannot create a team of VIT and VWIT student. Pratham, any question immediately? Okay, so you have to register for internal hackathon. Right. I have shared an email to you all where I shared the Google form. So this form is for getting the entries for the internal hackathon. So every team must be registered. That is very important. And the last date to register your team for the is 25th of August till 5 p.m. Okay, so these are the rules that you should consider, and you should stick to these rules. So one team can submit idea for maximum 2 problems, and these are the rules for internal hackathon. Please note that. I will share the rules once we complete the internal hackathon. Once we select top 30 teams, then we will have different sessions for them. These are the rules for the internal hackathon. So one team can submit a maximum 2 problem statements, submit an idea for maximum 2 problem statements, but you have to register 2 different times with same team members. That is, separate registration is required for each problem statement. A student can participate as a member or a leader in only one team. If a student is found in a multiple team, all such teams will be disqualified from internal hackathon. Please note that. So there is no restriction that team should be 6 member. If you have only one student as you, as in your team, you have an idea, you want to take a participate in SH, you can register that. There is no issue. But please don't take the team member which is already there in another team. All such teams will be disqualified. Please note that. And this is the rule for internal hackathon only. Afterwards, if suppose my team is selected and another team is not selected, if you want to take the member from another team into your team for the actual finale, that we will allow afterwards. Okay, but now one member should be in one team only. I hope it is very clear to you all. Okay. So as I said, this internal hackathon will be in two stages. Stage one will be based on only presentation, which may be in mostly in online mode, and some teams will be shortlisted. I will request the juries to allow maximum teams to come to the stage two, because here we are calling the actual juries, and actual hackathon will be there so that you can share your ideas and get proper inputs from them. So this will be a 36 hours hackathon physical mode, and all juries will be present over there. So for stage one, you have to prepare a presentation, and your presentation will be evaluated. The shortlisting criteria will be based on these points, like understanding of the problem statement. Have you understood the problem statement? What is your innovative solution? What is the uniqueness of the solution? How realistic is the idea? So you have to present this, you can say, points in your PPT. Somehow you have to make sure that you present, to make sure that the idea that you are going to present is convinced to the jury that it is a unique solution. There should be a high-level solution diagram explaining end-to-end flow of use cases to be implemented. What is the impact of solution, how it is going to drive the innovation, and ultimately your presentation style and approach. And the actual, you can say, a stage two, that is an actual hackathon of 36 hours. So these are the evaluation criteria. Again, you are going to pitch your idea. So there you have to mention the problem statement and what is the problem statement, what is your solution, what is the high level solution. Okay, and the diagram for that. Have you done some implementation, some design, some prototype? If you have some user interface, user experience, is it? Some presentations, some demos, and there will be 3 rounds of the juries where they will use some feedback, and the next round they will see how you implemented that feedback, how you thought on that. So this will be stage two, physical hackathon. So these are the, you can say, juries that we are calling from last 3 to 4 years. All are very renowned, you can say, persons from different companies like Tech Mahindra, HCL, is it? And different domains are there, cloud computing. So we will be first going through your domains, and then appropriately jury will be allotted to your team for the evaluation purpose, so that you will get an appropriate outputs. Right. So please note that you cannot directly register your team. You cannot directly submit your ideas to the SiH portal. It has to be through a college single point of contact only. Okay. So this registration criteria, as I said, will be after the Intel Smart End Hackathon, that I will not share now. So mentor for the internal hackathon is not compulsory. You can take them, or as per your wish. This is not compulsory. But once if you select it for the, you can say, from the internal hackathon, then 2 mentors you can take. And these 2 mentors can be your faculty or they can be from industry. I'll share this afterwards for those who complete this, or you can say pass this stage. Is it? So these are some parts. So we conduct this such type of hackathons in the institute, in the college, or full complete 36 hours in the institute only. So these are the number of winners. Last time we won 10 teams won this hackathon, and this year and henceforth we want to increase this number 10 to the multifold numbers, right? So these are some of the winners, and today we have with us this team, Legal AI team. They will be sharing their thoughts. They will be guiding you through this session. Okay. So I hope I have just cleared some major points. Those who have joined first time, I have shared all these things in last 2-3 meetings as well. So still, if there are any questions, I will be answering them now before starting the session by the team legal AI. I will, yeah, Yugal is asking for qualifying stage 2. Can we get certificate? Yes. I will give certificate to all those who register. Don't worry. That is a participation certification. Those who qualify for the top 30, I will give them certificate as in winning the Intel Hackathon. Don't worry. We will have top 5 teams as well. For them, we will give the numbers as well. So this is one of the, you can say, platform where you can learn some certificates as well to post on your LinkedIn files. Yes, any questions? Abhishek?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. I'm from VIIT. So, as sir, you have told you have conducted previous meetings, but we haven't received any such notifications or mails of the meetings related to that.
No problem. Don't worry, Abhishek. The same thing I have shared last meetings as well. I repeat it just for you people as you are joined first time. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So Dev is asking for Intel Hackathon for submission of 2 different problem statement. We have to register twice through form. Yes, correct. You are exactly right. You have to register twice, but for during registration, make sure that you have the same team, same members, same team name as well. So don't do like that, changing the team names and altering the team leaders. Same team. We will provide you 2 different slots to present your 2 different ideas. Don't worry about that.
Hello, sir. One more thing about the Google form. In the Google form, it was not
For
mandate.
VIIT, the separate form will be shared by Rati madam. Don't worry.
Okay, actually, sir, the form has been circulated. I think we also filled that, but we have only filled one time. And in that form, the space for idea was not mandatory, and we have not until it finalized our idea. So we have filled the form one times, but we have not filled the idea. So
Idea form filling is not
Yes,
required.
Mane sir, can I interrupt you?
Please, Rati
Actually, I
madam
have
also said.
already shared the form with the VIIT students where I have expected they should form the teams and select the problem statement. So only that much information is collected right now.
Yes.
But within next 1 or 2 days, I will share the next form where I will ask you for the detailed information. So VIIT students, please make a note of this.
Perfect. See, Abhishek, we are not interested in your idea. It's your intellectual property. Please note that. We are just getting your information as a team leader and for what problem statement you want to propose your idea. Idea will be with you only and you have to present your idea directly to the juries. And
okay.
me and Rati madam also not there involved in the entire process. So we are there just for organizing this hackathon. Everything, shortlisting, announcement of the result, why your team, why that team, all that queries will be solved by juries only. We are not responsible at all for anything.
Excuse me,
Other
sir.
than
So
organizing.
can we start the main session?
Yes.
Because I
Okay.
think we're running a bit late.
Sir, actually, I have a doubt. In the initial form which Nehal ma'am has shared, if we have registered in multiple teams, so is there a problem of disqualifying or something?
No, the rules that I shared, these are only for VIT. Please note that. Okay, Rati madam will discuss with you and she will connect with you all.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry.
And will like अभी दोनों colleges के एक साथ होंगे या
अलग-अलग होंगे.
merger और अलग-अलग?
Different होंगे. Correct. Yes. So we are here to basically to hear the winning teams. Guys, please mute who is there. Vedanti. Right. Vitik, are you there? You and your team?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry for the delay. There are many questions, I hope. I will answer all these questions after the session as Vitika and her team has other commitments as well. So I take this privilege to again welcome Vitika, the team leader of Team Legal AI. I'll just give short introduction. Today I hope Vitika, Ankur, and Atharu is there, right? Vitika, with you.
Yes.
Yeah. So Vitika, I'm proud to say that Vitika is our best outgoing student of the institute, not only department, but she is a best outgoing student of the institute for this academic year 23-24. Once again, congratulations, Vitika, for the same.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
she is intern at Wolters Kluwer and Volkswagen Technology Solutions as Volkswagen Data Solutions as a data science intern. I think Vitika, along with Ankur, has written a book on generative AI for everyone. Very good book. I hope I request everyone to just search this book. It is available on Amazon. You can just and now I think she is going for MS at University of California very soon. So before leaving for MS, I requested her to conduct this session. Along with Vitika, we have Ankur. Ankur is very, you can say, um, a bright student of our department. There are, you both are from AIDS department, right, Vitika?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and this is the first batch, right? And we are
Yes, sir.
very fortunate that our VIT college, AIDS branch students. So they own so many hackathons that there I was involved in selection of the departmental based outgoing student and institute based outgoing student as well. So it was very tough and very challenging for us to select just one student because every student, maximum 50% of the student have many hackathons, own the many hackathons, not only national, but international as well. So we have Ankur out as well with us. He is a full-time intern at Volkswagen Technology Solutions as a data science intern. He's also an author of the same book along with Vitika. And we have Atharva Purohit as well. I have shared all the today's three session speakers LinkedIn profile to you all as well, where you can just go through their profile. You can connect them through the LinkedIn as well. So Atharva is passionate about machine learning, deep learning, and AWS. He also a part of this winning team of the SiH and contributed for many other hackathons like Google Summer of Code, and now he's mentoring for the same. And currently he works as an SDE at Veristic Analysis. Okay, and he enjoyed playing cricket and exploring film criticisms. I welcome you all, Vitika, Ankur, and
Thank you, sir.
Tarva. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
yeah. So please, I hand over to you all. Please carry on.
Sure, sir. Okay. So, hello everyone, and yeah, I think let's begin the presentation without any further ado.
And I request everyone, we will have a question answering session at the end so that they can you can say complete their contents in a flow. So we'll have a question answering session at the end. Please don't worry.
Yeah. So, is the screen visible?
Yes, Vitika.
Okay. So in this session, basically, we'll be covering all of the winning strategies, tips, advice for the Smart India Hackathon. I think so, like, let's begin the session. So the first thing that we can start is with team formation. I think everyone has everyone is thinking, what should be the best composition of my team so that I have a very good, well, all-rounded team. So to answer the question, first, always you should maintain the eligibility rule. Otherwise, without that, your team won't qualify. So you need at least a female candidate. Second is that you should have a very good diversity within your team. So you should have the good number of developers, front-end developers, back-end developers. If you're building a mobile application, you need a mobile application developer. You also need like a cloud engineer, someone who can deploy and maintain the CI/CD pipelines. Then if your problem statement is related to machine learning or deep learning, computer vision, you require domain experts within that. Then after that, basically, if it is related to research, if it's a research-oriented problem statement, you should have good researchers within your team. The most important thing is you need a person who can communicate very well and efficiently within your team. So this is how you should build your team. Have at least one member from each of the domains I mentioned. Anything you would like to add, Ankur?
Uh, so yeah, like sometimes they ask you to deploy your product as well because they want your solution to be like a full product. So you want the team to be diverse so that you can form a proper product out of it. So think in that way, form a team accordingly, and also it's better to have those people who have uh, like already worked in these domains so that you don't waste your time in figuring out the technology more and focus more on the innovation part. So I think it is very important to have a proper diverse team of different skill sets. That's
Yeah. Atharva, do you wanna add something?
No, it's adequate, I think.
Okay, cool. So then I think we can move on to the next and understanding the problem statements. So the first thing is that how do you choose a problem statement amongst, like, there are so many problem statements that have been published on the website. So how do you choose the correct one? I think what we did last year was that I think there were 180 problem statements under the software category. So we had 6 team members and we divided 30 problem statements amongst each of our 6 members. And we gave everyone, I think, a time duration of 3 to 4 days in which they had to shortlist around 5 to 6 problem statements and had to rate the innovation in those problem statements. So, for example, if it's like really a problem statement which can have a high level of innovation, give it a 5. If it can have a low level of innovation, give it like a 2. So that's what we did. And then when everyone was done with their own slot, we had a meeting and then we discussed ideas with each other and then finally came down to narrow it down to 4 ideas. So don't narrow it down to one idea, narrow it down to around 4 to 5 ideas, because you may always get the opportunity of submitting more than one problem statement. So it's beneficial that you increase your chances of winning. You select around 4 to 5 ideas always. Be it in academia, be it in industry, your mentors, your peers, and ask them for feedback on those ideas. So ask them that, like, I'm planning to go forward with this. What do you think? Is this like innovative enough? Or if this is not, what do you want me to add in this? Also focus on the scope, visibility, as well as the impact of the solution that you're going to be making. So innovation and impact, these are the two most important things that you should keep in mind while choosing a problem statement.
yeah, I also think like why innovation is important because like there are many problem statements and there are many of those who are very easy, like they have been put like the problem statement is not that difficult or there are already resources available on the internet. So it is very important to keep in mind that if you get like very easy resources, then 100 other teams will also get those resources. So you need to find some of those problem statements where there is where there is a chance where you can innovate, where you can add your own thoughts to it. So it is very important to choose a problem statement in that direction. At the same time, there comes a question of crowded problem statements and those with the less crowd. So as I think even Sir mentioned that each problem statement gets around 500 entries. That is the maximum entry. So if you have a problem statement that is very the solution is very easy to make or probably there are more resources available, it's more on the only the development side where the innovation scope is very less, then I think it's very crowded and you don't want to lessen your reduce your chance of getting shortlisted. So that is why you have to choose a problem statement which can be less crowded. So how do you know that is by looking at those problem statements which have the scope of innovation, which have scope of research in it, where you can research a bit, you can, I mean, not a bit, you can research a lot in it, where like there are no existing solutions available for it, or even if there are existing solutions, you can add some innovations in it. So in that way, you have to think how you have to shortlist these problem statements.
Correct. So if I basically had to say that you have two types of problem statements, one is your development based problem statements and second is your research based problem statements. Development ones will always start with something like build an application or build a chatbot or build a mobile application or build a web application. So try to avoid these problem statements, because what will happen is that many people are able to build websites. I think that is a skill will normally people learn in the first year itself. So because of that, these are going to be extremely crowded. Whereas if you take a problem statement, which is more about, building your own deep learning model, building your own image recognition, or building your own machine learning model, those are going to be less crowded. Even computer vision problem statements are less crowded. Then also generative AI problem statements that are coming up right now. So these problem statements are actually very crowded, because what you have to do in these problem statements is that you just need to use some model, or you just need to like call a model, use an API key. So these problem statements also tend to get crowded.
Okay, so I think we should move on to the next one.
Okay, so yeah, let's move on to the
Is
next one.
the
And
Yeah. So once you have chosen your problem statement, now how do you approach towards this solution? So the first thing that you should do is do a very thorough literature review of your problem statement. So like we all are from VIT background, so we all have that edge where we know like how these LR the literature review looks like. So what is find out even research papers around your problem statements. So yeah, so like this, you can make a proper literature review where you have the paper, the technique that is being used. You can add those links and like, are we going to use this in our problem, in our solution or not? Mention you have to do research of your problem sheet first, so and understanding of what the market is doing for this solution, how you can proceed, and what are the things that are lacking in the solution that is already there in the market. So this clarity you will get only if you are thorough with the literature.
yeah. So that is another thing. And this was the literature review that we had done. So like, in college we generally taken 15 papers or 20 papers, want to have a volume of LR. That's what, don't do that right now. Just take up 5 or 6 good papers, understand what is happening in each paper and how you can build up on that paper. So for example, over here in this paper, if the model that they're using is ResNet 50, which is like a deep learning model, do you think like, using another model will improve the accuracy? If so, pitch that as a point in your presentation. So build up upon the research that you're basically doing.
Correct.
Also, I think in this phase, you should decide the tech stack. So deciding the tech stack is another very important thing over here, because like, you need the question that is going to be asked by the jury in the internal or in the main hackathon is that why did you decide to go with this tech stack? So if you want to answer that question thoroughly, you should be able to know that, why did you pick that particular option? So for example, why did you decide to go with like MERN stack over, let's say, Django and Python? Or why did you use TensorFlow over a PyTorch, which is like a deep learning framework? Or for example, why did you use Flutter over Kotlin? So these are the questions that you should be able to answer in this. That's why you need to really decide your tech stack in this preparation phase itself.
So once you have decided the tech stack, you should like, and you have done with the research, you have brainstormed your idea, you should start building your prototype as well, so that you can showcase that prototype in the next stages. It is very important to find out what exactly will be your approach and start building the prototype from that phase itself. Uh, that will give you an edge, because even in the internal hackathon, if you show a working prototype, then that will really give you an edge over many other teams. So it is very important to start working as well at this time.
Yeah. And I think like as Ankur mentioned earlier also, this is not the time that you can like start learning a new tool, because you have a very limited time right now. So for example, if you're a junior in, let's say if you're from second year, or if you're from first year, and because you're like new to this entire hackathon concept, so find seniors that, whose team you can work in. That will be a good guiding point for you as well. And then from third year, you and your colleagues can independently form a team and start working. That is another advice. As well as if you're in third year or fourth year right now, you may have some experience with hackathons. So you also have a good amount of skill set. So work with that skill set and do not spend time learning a new technology right now, as it's a very short period of time that you have in your hand now. So I think, Ankur, we can move to the next slide.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's discuss the most important thing, which is the internal hackathon. So I think, as Sir said, that last time 200 plus teams had enrolled in the um, 200 plus teams that enrolled in the first stage, and only around I think 25 plus teams are allowed to be selected from our college, right?
Right. Right.
So this is the major stage where the most amount of elimination is going to be taking place. And what you have to aim is that you need to be selected in the top teams over here. So in 2022 also, when we were in third year and we participated, we came first in the internal hackathon. And even last year, we came in 2023, we came first in the internal hackathon. So what we have learned from both of these years is that you really have to impress the jury. So what does that mean now is that you have to make an excellent pitch for why this solution is the best solution and the most impactful solution that will be existing in the market. So now for that, what you have to do is that your presentation, make it very short and crisp. Do not make it verbose. In this sense, do not add full sentences and paragraphs and essays in your presentation. Add short points, include a lot of flowcharts, include a lot of diagrams. And the main thing is that the prototype that you have developed will be making the most impact to your jury. So have at least 50% of your prototype ready. Let's say 30 to 50% of your prototype ready. So, for example, your problem statement is a very huge problem statement. See what is the crux of the problem statement and start building that so that you can showcase it whenever the internal hackathon is going to be held. So start working on that. And the second thing is that you should have the person who will be presenting, or if two three people have very good communication skills, and everyone should be ready for the questions that are going to be asked by the jury. So the jury will be asking the a lot of people questions during the internal hackathon, and you should be able to tell the jury, for example, the tech stack question, or what is the business impact, or what is the social impact of your product. So that is an important advice from my side.
So, because we also have like a very limited time that is given to you, like for a presentation, because there are around 200 to 50 teams that are participating. So you have very limited time given to you, around 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So you have to plan accordingly. You have to have a really good script. Like you have to present that the whole thing in 10 to 15 minutes, at the same time showcase your product that you have built as well. So you have to plan things accordingly. At the same time, I think uh, y- after, like, once you present your idea, they give you many suggestions as well, that should be done, this should be done. So you should keep those in mind as well. They'll ask questions based on if you have anything, because they want it as a product. So they'll ask you questions regarding the data security, the feasibility. So you should be ready with those as well. That is why here comes the point where the choosing of tech stack or something like that, they ask, and should have those answers as well. So also, like, it is very
Correct.
important to take the reviews and feedbacks from the jury. So you should keep in mind what the juries have given you as a feedback.
Also, one more suggestion that I would like to give is that make your flowcharts really good, because most of the people are going to focus on those flowcharts as they are easier to understand. Make sure your entire system is visually represented so that juries are able to understand your system before you go into the technical details.
Yeah,
So I think, is my screen visible?
yeah, it's visible.
So I'll be showing you the presentation that we had made. This was the presentation that we had made for the main
Vitika,
Smart India
internal
Hackathon.
hackathon screen is visible.
Which screen is visible?
Internal hackathon, the PPT that we were presented.
Okay, let me just change it. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this was the presentation that we had made. Y'all can take screenshots if y'all want. Um, so basically, first over here is write down the problem statement clearly. And when you're speaking on this slide, basically say this, whoever is going to be speaking for this slide, say this slide in points. Just the person, the jury who is listening should be able to understand that what is the problem and what is the solution that has to be developed so they can follow up for the further slides. Then, for the always when you start with hammer, have a very big diagram overview. You know, something like there is a user, they are going to be uploading a e-report, and then there is going to be an algorithm developed by us, which is going to be able to do number 2, number 3, as well as number 4. So this is what you should basically be having as a system overview. Then after that, in the next slide, you should be having your idea and proposed solutions. You should be having your idea and proposed solutions in points. Ankur, I'm facing a voice issue. Are you facing the same on your side?
Oh, no. Abhishek, you can mute
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Abhishek Gaiko.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, so then you should have it in points. And one another idea for your presentation that you can do is that basically divide your pipeline. So for example, there are three things that that your entire product is offering. So divide those pipelines. So something that can be like first pipeline is data collection, processing, and model building. Second is the dashboard, and third is the KPIs. So basically divide this, and then for every of these, write down the points. Don't use big sentences, use only points. Don't use paragraphs, and highlight what is the most important thing in those points. Then after that, you can give a detailed algorithm, which is going to be like explaining your entire website or your entire application, how it's going to be working. So this is basically the detailed diagram that you can have, but always have two diagrams. First will be the system overview diagram, and second will be your detailed diagram. Then after that, you can also give them an example on a testing document. So for example, this is the testing document that we had used, and these are the results that we're getting. So they basically have an idea of how your application is going to be working. The tech stack and the revenue model. So basically, we've tried to reduce the text you could see everywhere as possible. So instead of writing in words what our tech stack is, we had a diagram for that. And then we also always write down the revenue model, because finally the main aim is to get money from the product that you're building. Then innovation and impact is the most important thing. So what we did is that we wrote down the innovation over here, and the impact that is being caused by that innovation has been written below. So this is a very good way of writing what your innovation and impact is. And then of course you have the team member details in the end. I think, does anyone have any questions regarding the PPT? We could take them now as we are here. Yeah, sure.
So
Anyone?
I have a doubt कि
Yeah,
the demo PPT was limited to 7 pages and your PPT
correct,
is like 8 or 9 pages I assume. So
correct.
थोड़े ज़्यादा slides चलते हैं या फिर we should all
Okay.
limit to that.
So for the internal Smart India Hackathon, there is no limit on the number of for the internal Smart India Hackathon, there is no limit on the number of slides that you can have. Of course, do not make a very very big PPT because the jury is not going to be listening to that. So you can make a PPT of good 7 to 8 slides for the internal hackathon. That's not a problem. And for the main hackathon, so once you win the internal hackathon and you'll be submitting your PPT, for that keep it restricted only to 5 to 6 slides.
Yeah, Vitika, participants, what Vitika has shown is the actual PPT that they have submitted for the SH to the SH portal. But for internal hackathon, there is no limitation on number of slides, but you should be wise enough to choose the content of the slide. So it should not be too heavy. Correct, Vitika?
Yeah, so the PPT that I showed is actually the one that we had developed for the internal Smart India hackathon.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was the one we developed, and this was, if I think the one that we had submitted is correct.
Yeah, this is the submitted one. I know.
Yeah, yeah. So this was the
What
one
he
which we had
has said is
developed as
one or
well as
two slide
submitted.
extra can be possible, maybe also accepted as well.
Yeah,
But the content should be like that only.
correct. And this time they have themselves increased the slide limit. So basically, like we only had 4 slides. This time they have 6 slides.
So participant don't think about the actual grand final of the SH. It is very crucial part of the internal hackathon. So you can imagine that last time, Mitika, if you remember, I said that if
Yes, sir.
you pass out our internal hackathon, you are surely going to win the grand finale. Right.
Correct, sir.
So because we have so many teams in VIT that are very excellent compared to other institutes. So all 200 teams last time, first stage we shortlisted 100 teams and all 100 teams were very excellent, having their ideas very excellent teams. The juries were very, you can say, proud to say that all 100 teams should go for the grand finale. But because of this pattern of the SIH, we could go for only few teams, right? So winning the
Correct.
Intel Hackathon is a very tough team. That is, I can tough task for you. So think from the Intel point of view, Intel Hackathon point of view. So the
Yeah,
no
so
limitation for the number of slides. You have to present your idea in such a manner that in a short period you can present that. As he said, more flowcharts, more images should be there so that you can attract, is it, to the
yeah.
brain.
So, to basically to give a summary of your doubt, Kanishk, there should be main 5 to 6 slides in your PPT, be it the one that you're giving for the internal hackathon or the one that you're submitting for your main SIH. There should be main 5 to 6 slides, which should have less text, a lot of flowcharts, and a lot of images.
Yeah, they
Thank
will
you.
think that VIIT and VIT now at the moment, both the teams, both the colleges are very separate. Please note that VIT is merged only for first year. And now this hackathon, internal hackathon is conducted for second year, third year, and final year students. So this will be totally different. 30 teams from VIT, 30 teams from VIIT will be selected independently. There is no relation between teams from VIT and VIIT. Please note that.
And one more doubt, like for the mentorship, is it compulsory to select the mentor from our college only, or we can like approach an external
We'll
expert or
be
something?
Yeah, actually, we'll be coming to the mentorship doubts later. So I think let's just proceed with the presentation and then we'll take all of the doubts in the end. Okay, so after the internal hackathon, let's talk about the presentation submission. So, Ankur, do you want to like continue?
I think we should switch to that slide.
Oh, it's not visible?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so like we saw like how the presentation should look like. So once you get shortlisted in the internal hackathon, you have to make a proper submission on the on the main site portal. So there you have to submit 2 3 documents. First of all, you have to submit this presentation. Now why we are saying that you should have a short presentation is because obviously like they have those limitations, and it should have all the flow charts, all the diagrams, like as we saw like what all diagrams we did, So all those things will should be there, but at the same time, you will get a chance to explain the whole solution of yours as well. So you get two more documents that you have to submit. That is the abstract and the methodology or the idea description that you have of your solution. So what you do is you write the overview of your problem statement and what your solution is in the abstract. There you get around 5,000 words, so you can explain it in very detail what exactly the problem statement is and how you are approaching it. And then in the methodology you can go in very depth where you can mention what all models you have used if it is a research problem statement, or what all tech stack you have used, why you have used, so what are the results. You can discuss everything over there, so you get that liberty to explain everything that you have implemented or are going to implement in the methodology as well as the abstract that you will be submitting. So that is why you have to keep the PPT very short and crisp and just pleasing, so that people, the reviewer that is reviewing your PPT or shortlisting your PPT should stick to your PPT. He or she should be able to read it properly, understand it properly with the diagrams itself or the PPT itself. So you should have very less text on in your PPT. You also have a video submission that you can do. So you have to record the whole video of your demo, and what you can do is you can put that on YouTube as a private YouTube video, and then you can submit that YouTube link as well. So you can provide a proper demo of your working demo of your solution as well. So in that way, like, you can explain the whole thing, but yeah, like in the PPT it is not necessary to mention like everything in like in detail in sentences. So that is why you should focus more on like less text and more on the beautification, a bit more on the points in the presentation.
Correct, correct. So I think with that done, we can move to the question is that how do I find a good mentor? So the first thing is that you should connect with industry experts in your network. Now, for example, if you've taken a particular problem statement which is related to, like ours was related to lithology, so find a industry expert who is into that, or even you can find out someone. Our solution, it included a lot of deep learning, so find an expert into deep learning. That is one thing. Second is the people, um, so professionals who are like your seniors, your alumni. They are also like good to mentor because they have had a lot of experience themselves, and that's why they will be telling you that what should be added in the PPT, or what should be added in the solution. Then third is basically like our professors from college. So someone who has like done a lot of research into that area, they can also provide as a good mentor. So it all depends on you. That mentor can either be from the industry or from the academia. Then I think let's just during the hackathon. So I think we should have a different session
Yeah, yeah.
for the main
Yeah,
hackathon. I
today we'll
think
just concentrate on internal hackathon.
exactly.
And
Yes,
once we finalize the 30 teams, now then we will orient them for the preparation of idea submission and
yeah,
that hackathon.
correct, sir.
We will have a
So
stage wise.
yes,
Participants,
sir.
please note that we are now preparing you for the internal hackathon. Those who
Yeah,
shortlist top 35, 30 teams, we will have a separate session on how to prepare a PPT and submission of that. After that, there will be a one more round of shortlisting by SiH. Those will be called for grand finale. For them, we will have a separate session on how to prepare for grand finale, how to perform in the grand finale. Right?
yeah, yes, sir.
Great.
So I would just also like to share this evaluation guidelines for Smart India Hackathon. So this was basically the guidelines that were issued to us when we were a part of the final grand finale. What I want to show you all over here is
The
that,
screen is invisible.
okay,
Switch the tab.
yeah, is it visible now? Okay, so what I want to show you all here is that these are the main things that you should focus on during your internal round as well, because the jury does consider this. So first is the presentation of your solution. Second is what is the innovation that you're bringing to it. That is, I would I would like literally emphasize a lot on the innovation, because that is the most important criteria any jury is looking for. Third is the solution approach, that is what is the tech stack you're using, or what is the framework, or the roadmap of the framework that you will be using. Then also the fourth most important thing is the feasibility. That is, will your system be breaking? How practical and viable it is? So that is the technical soundness and feasibility. And then is your execution timeline for the hackathon. So like let's say 30 to 50% of your project has been completed in the internal hackathon, but you need to convince the jury that you are going to be before the finals, where you have to complete 80% of your project. So you need to convince that you are dedicated, you're sincere, and you're going to be working on the rest of your project. Then also you need to, whatever feedback that you get, so let's say you talk to people around you and that you the feedback, so be very open to the feedback and try to integrate that feedback into your product. Then also another important thing over here is basically the functionality, that have you developed your solution relevant to the problem statement. So there are many things that you can develop, but what is, have you like served the main purpose, or have you found a good solution for the problem statement? Then also marks are given to your demonstration, also given to your UX. This is all very important for the final round, but even if in the internals, I would suggest that make a good appealing application. Then also, like I said, that the future, the impact as well as the market readiness. Is it going to be a good product? Is that product going to get money? So that is also a very important thing. So these are the important things that you should keep in mind when you're choosing a problem statement as well as when you're developing a solution. So I think with that being said, let's open the forum for doubts, and you can just take up. Abhishek.
Remote
Yeah.
sharing, we can see.
Okay, so about during the presentation part, should all the members in the team speak, or whoever has the proper communication skill speak?
Yeah, let
Um.
me in this, Ritika.
Okay.
Say, Abhishek and all, please note that this is not an project examination or viva examination, right? So juries are looking for your idea, and also this is not an this is a basically idea-thon. So what is your idea? So as although the Vitika has mentioned that there is an individual contribution, but during Intel Hackathon, we are not considering who is speaking. Okay, and not necessary all members should speak. You have to decide, as he also mentioned at the beginning, that you should choose the team member who is very good in speaking, who is very good in communication. So although they may not know anything or much of the, you can say, the implementation, but they can speak, and in between other members can add. Is it clear,
Yes.
Abhishek?
And
Yes, yes.
so when I said about teamwork, this was mainly relevant for the main
In
hackathon,
hackathon, correct.
because they want to see that how well the team is bonded. So
Yeah.
that is another factor that they consider for the main hackathon.
Team management is one of the important factors they consider while grand finale. How you manage the team, the time management, people management, because ultimately they are, so you can say, uh, hiring this particular group as well for many by the many industries. Yeah, please next one, Karthik.
Yeah, hello.
Uh,
So, as sir mentioned, for the internal hackathon, you can submit two problem statements. But we actually have did some meetings with our previous winners from through LinkedIn, and one of them suggested that these were multiple topics in the main SiH hackathon, so that it
Yeah,
increases the chances for
Ritika has also
selection.
mentioned that it is up to the SIH. Last year only
Correct.
allowed,
They are
but
allowed.
only registered teams can submit multiple problem statements. That too, I think only two or three. But every time it may not be there. I don't
It
know
may
exactly.
change. Correct.
It will change.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
you, I
last time
think
we
they
submitted.
mentioned that you prepare your ideas and keep with you. But at the beginning, at the very first time, you have to register one idea. And last time what happened for many problem statement, there were very few teams registered their ideas. So because of that, they opened that like an Vithika's team have submitted 3 ideas, say for example, and all
Correct.
2 ideas were shortlisted, and they have to select one and they have to go for grand finale. So like this last time happened, but this time there is no such rules came out at the moment. So we'll convey you in future.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm. Okay, so I think the next question that I have got in my DM is that for they are in second year, but when we go for deep learning or image processing models, the second year students have zero experience. How is it possible to completely learn and solve this? So this is a very good question and a very valid question, because yes, second year, what you have to mainly focus on is that you need to start learning and start building the tech stack for the experience. If you do want to participate, take a problem statement in which you're comfortable with. So like for example, if you're comfortable in building a React application or any HTML website, so take up that, give a solution for that, try to innovate in that itself, and try upskilling yourself, try learning new technology. So next year you can try building a research-based problem statement. So is that okay, Pranav?
Good. Raju has a question that should we fill the form twice? Yes, I allowed team can submit their ideas for maximum 2 problem statements. So you have to register the form twice.
Yeah. Gauri has a question. There is a slide limit of 6. So that is correct. In the internal hackathon, there is no as such limit, but try keeping your PPT short. And in the main hackathon also, there is a limit of 6. So yeah, if you want to increase, you can increase by maximum, let's say 1 or 2 slides, not more than that.
Karthik has a
Hello.
question. How do you acquire the data set when it is for government organizations? So, Karthik, basically, you have to, like, in some cases, you even have to generate your own data set. Like for us, we didn't have any data set available publicly. So that is what I was mentioning about the resources. Like there are some problem statements where you won't get resources. So you have to figure out a way how you can do it. We manually like created a data set to train our model. So sometimes you have to do that as well. Can you collaborate on multiple ideas in the internal hackathon? Vijay sir can take that up.
Yeah. So can you elaborate on multiple ideas in the internal hackathon? So as I said that one team can submit their ideas for 2 different problem statements. Okay. So you have to register 2 times. So there will be 2 separate.
Hello.
Yeah.
So my question is we do a lot of research on our problem statement and gather so much information. And the problem when comes it while presenting, we cannot deliver up to the mark sometimes. So what points do we need to consider while presenting so that we can deliver what we have researched?
So whatever, so for example, if you have a solution, you need to know the main, need to know the top 5 things in your solution which are bringing innovation to it. So the first thing is that present your solution, present the top 5 things that are bringing innovation to your solution, and show a demo or a prototype of that solution. If there is a time limit, at least do these things.
Okay.
Hello, one more thing about the hardware part. Should the hardware be product ready or it should be like testing ready or prototype like that?
It should be, if you're saying for a hardware.
Yeah.
I think this will be better to ask a hardware team itself,
Okay.
No, I'm
because
not
we were
getting.
in the
What is the
software
Abhishek? What
edition.
is your question?
Let's say, sir, for a hardware problem statement, should we design the whole hardware as a product perspective, like designing the whole thing, packaging it, seeing the how the users may interact, or we have to just
No. See,
design as
yesterday
a proof of
we
concept?
understood. Yesterday we conducted an session on hardware. So for internal hackathon, it is totally not required to have your prototype. Okay, that is one thing. You can just explain your prototype how it would be. That is one thing. Second, for if your team selected for the grand finale, then in the grand finale, all the hardware should be built at that place only. So you need to take your components, you need to ask the components from the SiH. They will provide you the components and they have to make the hardware there only. And before going to grand finale SiH, you can make your prototype and you can say have a rehearsal on that. That is okay. Understood?
Okay, okay, okay.
So you cannot take your hardware directly to the SiH port, SiH grand finale if you're
Okay. So Dave has asked me a question. What if we have taken a problem statement and if we add some extra features to the same solution for that problem statement, which were also present as SIH problem statement, what will be its effect? So I haven't understood your question clearly, but if you're asking that if we can take a problem and add some features and submit it as a solution for SIH, that is also okay if if it is suiting basically the solution. If it's a good solution, then definitely the jury will consider it accordingly in the internal hackathon. Just focus on the problem and focus on the solution.
Okay, Dev has also asked, can we make demo data sets by our own random values? I mean, you can make your own demo data sets, but they should make sense. Like, you should know in and out how exactly the data set will be, and accordingly you can have those data sets created. You have like so many tools now, so you can create your own data set.
Someone has asked about student innovation for SIH. So yeah, there are these student innovation that are present. So yeah, like if your solution is very impressive, there are chances that you can be selected for the student innovation category as well.
Yeah, Uzair, you can use some hardwares. Like one of the teams that were competing with us, they actually used a hardware, uh, but like they didn't end up winning. But yeah, like if there is a requirement of a hardware,
Requirement.
yeah, then you can use it.
But also remember, if you're using a hardware and a software, it adds up the cost of the system. So be
Should
like
be explaining
really,
that.
yeah, you should be explaining that well to the jury when asked. Ritesh has asked a question saying ideas fully new, innovated, or the old idea with upgradation are also allowed. So definitely old idea with innovation is also allowed because you, like we said, build up on the research paper and that is point out that this is the innovation that we're building up. So that's also perfectly okay.
There was a doubt from my side.
Yeah, Ayush.
Yes, actually, like now, while selecting problem statement, we are having like I had selected one of the problem statement. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, I had selected one of the problem statement and I'm having the innovative idea, unique idea solution for that problem statement that comprises of all the highlights that is been mentioned in the problem statement. But the main concern is that I'm not feasible or I'm not literally known about the tech stack, what to use there. So like, will it be okay in internal hackathon, like just presenting the idea or the solution over that and building up the flow diagram, whichever I'm planning to build, and after that getting shortlisted there and building the system, learning about the things and building the tech system till the finalized round?
So like you need to have a very good clarity then, because then you are taking this bet, right? Because many of the teams like which are participating will definitely have something running. They will definitely have their own prototypes ready. So you have to be very sure that what your idea is and how you are going to implement it. That is like all up to you. Like that's your
Yeah,
call.
yeah. Like from my concern side is I'm knowing I'm having the idea, I know the
Yeah,
proper
Ayush,
I'm
I understood your question, and rightly Ankur said that. Suppose, for example, you have your team, Ayush, Ankur has his team, okay, and you both are say having the same problem statement, chosen the same problem statement. You both are having a very good ideas, but if Ankur has some sort of implementation, like how the UI will be, how the website will be, and that will be you can say ultimately having a more marks for Ankur's team than your team.
all right. Thank you.
Yeah. Some Piyush asked me, when you say internal hackathon phase 2, that is physical hackathon, are we supposed to create a prototype from scratch on the day, or we can create a prototype before, or is there any different approach? Yeah, so you can definitely start creating before. Once you've chosen the problem statement, like let's say today, tomorrow, you can start developing your prototype that you want to present in the internal hackathon.
During
Uh,
the hackathon, you can We can say directly show your implementation. That is not an issue.
Yeah. And if you get any feedback from the jury, you can even
That will be
integrate in
feedback.
that for the next stage.
Yes.
Then Akwif says that I'm interested in consulting in finance domain, but most of the problem statements are in the domain of AI or Gen AI. How do I cope up with this, or how can I inculcate my desired problem domain into the problem statement? So I don't think you should inculcate the domain that you want in the problem statement. There is a problem given to you, and there will be, after doing a research, you will come up with the solution for that problem statement. So that can, now if you're saying that if it is not related to consulting or finance, there is nothing that you can do about it. But do not try to add that into the solution if it is not required.
I've also shared the a YouTube video about this. Me and Vitika have covered a lot there, and I've also, like, many of them asked me about the PPT, so also shared the link in the chat. Just can go and check it.
Ronak has asked another question saying, consider if a team takes very easy problem statement like a freelance platform website or a website translator extension, even if we make complete working prototype, still our chances would be less for internal hackathon. Sir, if you could just answer this.
Yeah, could you please repeat question? I
If
request all participants to post your questions to
directly
we can
open to all,
move
yeah.
on. Yeah.
So
So same
consider
question.
if a
Yeah.
consider if a team takes very easy problem statement like a freelance problem statement, like a website or translator, even if we make a complete working prototype, still our chances would be less for internal hackathon.
No, as I mentioned, this is an ideathon. So everything is based on how innovative solution is. So you have to impress by saying that how it is actually, what is their existence already, and what else you are adding into that, and how this prototype or how your proposed solution is better than the existence one. What innovation drive it is going to add, that you have to convince. Is it? So there is, see, problem statement is there. It means that it is, they require some solution. Is it? So the juries are not going to look into what is the problem statement. Juries are more interested in what is your solution for that problem statement. So you have to be smart enough to convince juries that this is a very excellent innovative solution that you have provided.
Yeah. So now, very interesting question. I have heard that student innovation domain is extremely competitive, and because of that, should we refrain from taking it? So honestly, telling you that both of the years that we participated, we did not focus on the student innovation problem statements because first, they get really innovative, and second, you need a really, really good idea, if a very good innovative idea if you want to take part in that. So what you should do is that you should initially refrain from it, and then later if they open up the option where you can submit more than one problem statement, you can take up a student innovation problem statement. And another thing what people do is that, like, for example, someone has a very good problem statement or a solution they've already made in some earlier hackathon or something, then they submit it to the student innovation category because they know that they have already, suppose, won an award for that somewhere. So they submit their idea over here. So that is like another thing that you can do for the student innovation domain. Another question is, do they provide a data set if we request? So like Ankur covered it earlier, you can request them, you can mail them. It's very little chances that you will get the data set from them. So try making your own data set. And if suppose making your own data set is not possible, then try choosing a different problem statement. Next question is, can we add our own innovations to the problem statement? And solutions provided by the organizations? Yeah, definitely you have to add your own innovations, but adding innovations does not mean adding features in your website. So that those are two different things. Uh, Remember that innovation is something basically that is going to be adding value to their solution, not adding features to their solution. Next question is, I wanted to ask that whether it is okay to learn new technology during this period of SIH. honestly wouldn't suggest. Try making a team which has a good amount of diversity, because you have very little time right now, and even when the results come, you and the hackathon starts, you only get like 3 weeks. We only got 3 to I think 3.5 weeks, so it's not possible to keep learn a technology and then implement it.
Gaurav has
I
a
think
question. How many stages there will be for internal hackathon? I think Vijay
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Yeah, let me see for Intel Hackathon, depending on number of teams registered, we will have two rounds. In round one, or you can say stage one, we will be shortlisting teams based on their presentations in online mode. And in stage two, we will have a physical hackathon.
correct. And everyone has been asking for the PPT link. So Ankur has put down the YouTube as well as the PPT link, as well as probably you won't be requiring this right now, but we've also included the abstract as well as the methodology, which will be required for the final SIH submission. I think Gayatri sir has already answered the question that every in internal hackathon, not only team leader, anyone who wants to sort a group presentation, anyone who wants to speak can speak. Just remember to convey your idea very clearly to the jury. Another question from Akshay is, I have a model ready and there is one problem statement from SIH which I can integrate in my model. So will it be okay if I take that same model while including the feature from SIH and go to SIH? Yeah, Akshay, you can definitely do that. So if you have something ready and you know that it is a good solution from the problem statement, you can definitely integrate it. So any other doubts anyone wants to ask? So I think we have answered all of the doubts
Yes,
that we
yes,
got
yes,
in the DM.
yes. So participants, we will be conducting such sessions mostly maybe tomorrow. I will update on this. So all such teams, those who own past editions of the SIH, they will be sharing their thoughts, their presentations with you all, and accordingly, your doubts will be solved in future. Don't worry about that. So there is one more question. So what if we have already made prototype and we got selected in phase two? Prototype building, so just have to improve it. So see, this is not a grand finale. If you have done a prototype, they will go through your prototype. You explain the prototype, they will go through the prototype, and if it is excellent, then you will be shortlisted in top 30. If there are some, you can say, modifications or some suggestions, then juries will give you those suggestions. Don't worry. Okay. I will convey all the messages to Rati madam. She will convey to you all. Don't worry. So Dikshit and his team will be also guiding you. Don't worry. All the winners will be sharing their views. We have enough time. So daily one session from one winner will be interacting with you. Not from 23, but 22, 21 as well. So we have prepared a very planned agenda just for you all. And as I mentioned at the beginning, that just don't look this as a smart India hackathon, but just to prepare yourself, your idea, your team for the future hackathons. Tati madam, would you like to add anything?
No, sir. Almost all the points are covered by you.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope all questions are cleared now.
So just one more thing, Rati madam, where is your cabin in the VWIT campus? If we have any queries or doubt, can we meet you?
Yes, sure. You
So
can come to the B building. My location is B203. So you can meet me.
okay, okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So I think like I'll just stop the presentation as the recording.